How you going, guys? It's Key here from Kegland. Now this is one of the first videos we're doing with the Kegland business, but I just wanted to show you a really simple product. It doesn't really require too much explanation, but it's our gauge guards. Now gauge guards are something that you would normally use in conjunction with your regulators to protect the gauges. A very common problem that a lot of people have, especially in the brewing industry, is when they get their cylinder of gas and then they either bump or drop the regulator, hits the ground, damages one of the gauges straight away. So that can be a real nuisance, and it costs about, I don't know, 10-15 bucks to replace a gauge. But of course, if you have a gauge guard, you know, it's going to save you that cost of having to keep replacing your gauges. It's particularly good in a commercial environment. A lot of people use these, or otherwise if you're frequently taking or moving your gas cylinder, taking it to a party or going camping with it or something like that, or for your portable keg setup, or maybe you've just got a hire company hiring this gear out. So yeah, all these instances really make gauge guards worth spending the extra buck on, I suppose. Yeah, now our gauge guards, they fit all our own regulators, of course. They do fit some of the King regulators and some of the other regulators that you can buy on the market as well. Yeah, our particular gauge guard's made out of complete 304 stainless steel, so they won't rust either. I think it's quite rare to find a stainless steel gauge guard. The vast majority of gauge guards out there are made of just carbon steel or pressed metal. But yeah, ours are TIG welded out of stainless, so they're a fairly good quality gauge guard. When you're using them, it comes with two plates and a set of 3 stainless steel nuts and bolts. Really fairly straightforward to fit. There's no front and back, so I can put this on the front and the other one can go on the back, and vice versa. It doesn't really matter. What you do is just line them up like this. So you go just like that. You get these 3 bolts in place like so. And then it's a little bit fiddly, but yeah, just do these nuts and bolts up from each side. There we go. Now you want to make sure that these are done up fairly tight, because if they're not done up tight enough, the regulator can move within the gauge guard bracket, and that will not protect your gauges at all. So it's really important that these are done up quite tight. You can use a socket set if you want to do these up. But I've got my trusty drill over here, so this will do the job for me. Okay. Once it's on, yeah, you just want to make sure that this regulator and gauges, they're really sturdily in here and can't move easily. And that looks like it's pretty good. Now to fit it onto our gas cylinder. Alrighty, so now for the moment of truth, I guess. So I've attached my regulator with gauge guard onto my 6 kilo gas cylinder. This is the biggest size that we do, so I guess this is probably the best test because it's got the most weight behind it. This 6 kilo gas cylinder is close to full. So let's just push that over. Hits the deck, and if you look closely, you can see the gauges are in perfect condition. So, you know, that type of fall would almost certainly mean a replacement gauge for me had of that not had the gauge guard in place. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoy using our gauge guards. 304 stainless steel, easy to fit and compatible with all our regulators. Cheers.